All praises to the Creator. Thank you, Holy Father, for another day. Let your enemies be the sacrifice, etc., instead of us, etc. Let our enemies be the sacrifice, etc., instead of us, etc. Let's rebuke the devil in the name of Jesus. Ain't none of these pictures going to be able to hurt anybody who view this. You know what I'm saying? We is doing God's work under the blood, under the blood. We under the blood. There's going to be some shit you might see in these pictures. You might be like, oh, shit. So might be some things, but let's get straight to it, man. This is called The BEASTMAN, the prehistorical revision of chronological order, part 2, presentation featuring no sidebars. Let's go. Okay. So today we're talking about the BEASTMAN. The BEASTMAN seen there sitting on his ass in all blue with the red hair looking up toward the moon goddess. And so this is heaven and earth. This is the moon. This is a version of Newt and Geb, believe it or not. Just to show you how on repetition, a lot of occult artwork is, especially when we are exposing or examining the patterns, right? So let's go show Newt and Geb for those that don't know what Newt and Geb is. We're not doing any sidebars. So here's a version of Newt and Geb. Most people are familiar with this version of Newt and Geb. All right. So here's Japan showing their version. And so what is being relayed is that the technology, the divine technology, come from above. So whether it's the moon, Saturn, matrix all together, or just the moon, you got it where the gods come down and they mess with the earthly man. Right. And so this is the beginning of troll. Right. The beginning of this troll concept. This hairy entity that was made, or that was constructed, rather, that was worked on. Now, was there things before this? Most likely it was. Most likely there was types of humanoids or beings or animals, whatever it was, to, be that first on the canvas. But eventually, when intelligence started to get intelligent, right? When the robots start to be very smart on their own or whatever have you, use their gifts or skills, then you got it where you got yourself a runaway train. Think of it like man's pursuit to build a robot, then man's pursuit to build an intelligent AI, and then AI's desire to build its own robots and its own AI. There's no need for man, because man is not smart enough to be of value. And then what you got on your hands, right? You got the GEC. But shit, we don't know much about human history as it is. We don't know who these people are. They could be fallen angels. And this is the reason why things are the way they are. You know, I have this old Mayan, or I had this old Mayan photo of this artifact from the Maya. And I was like, yo, that shit, I remember it, but I was like, there's no use for it, right? And then I saw this bodyguard for Michael Jackson. He looked just like exactly like him. He had this long, tall head, and he was fat and rotund. And it just was like, yo, that's how exactly how that statue looked. And now I don't know where the statue at. But this is another example. Look at Diddy Combs. Diddy Combs is a fallen angel. Diddy Combs is from a dragon bloodline. But people don't want to give people credit like that because they think, oh, they just dump people into hip hop. Look how, you know, foreigners might look at Americans and be like, oh, look how they get used and shit. That's true, but they don't see that all of this is created from evil Aboriginal Americans, descendants of Pangeans, or corrupt anybody elseans, right? So the shit go back to Pangea in my book. You know, there's a lot of things we don't know. And Africa is the source of this statue, this wooden statue. I don't know how far we're going to get into this build, but we're going to start it up with this concept that we've been given. Like, this is still taught in school. Like, if there's people out there that watch the news or read news, you know that you've seen something dealing with an ancient human, a Neanderthal, how the Neanderthals and humans started to mate and create hybrids, how they was living together, how they go back longer than they thought, how they was, you know what I mean, older than we thought, or, you know what I mean? And so you got it where Australopithecus is the giant monkey. And then all these other types of primates become like these little hobbit-like situations. So that's interesting in itself. Like, they're trying to size down what nature made, because nature made some real shit. And so they scaled it down in a controllable fashion and gave it small brains. Gave it small brains because they know they was going to increase the brainage according to their need and necessity. Because what is the point of having a huge, dangerous being with a huge brain and they don't know shit, right? And so they scaled up these experiments until they got it to where, yeah, yo, y'all out there by your damn self. You got your own little personality. Look, I made man out of clay. Because which happens with clay when you press it and mold it and you shape it. And that's what each of these concepts is. This could have been the same person, just reincarnated every time. Like, every episode, they're going to get killed at the end because there's going to be another body next episode. You know what I'm saying? That's a good idea, actually. But anyways, I reviewed the devil, and they're running countries now. So, all right, we're supposed to believe they're the first ones to run countries. That's where the joke come in at. It's like, all right, the Bible tell you that the gods created Adam and Eve. The gods, not one god, not a god or a goddess, the gods. It say so. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you always see people gathered around these creations, and these are the creations. See this guy, this man holding? That is a new type of person. Can the Nordics trace their heritage back to this? Maybe. This is Japanese on the right. And what are they showing? They're not showing a hairy white man. They're showing a hairy man with eyes just like them. Big nose. They roll. Look at the lips. Why the lips red? Because they got that cat. They got that drug. Don't know why they got, and they dangerous. Maybe that could be also the symbol. Check this out. On the left is ancient Egyptian hieroglyphic wall art. If that ain't no damn monkey, I don't know what is. Deity be the instead, please, Heavenly Father. We need you. Because, you know, one second I hear that the vampire that Putin said that the vampire that Americans would they so I saw Putin, right? There's an interview and he said that the vampires fill their bellies up with human flesh, and that the vampire ball is over and all this other shit. Like he against the vampires, but he out there in goddamn Russia beating up on Ukrainians. That I think he called them vampires and they don't deserve that land, right? And so shit, that's some white people shit. When the white people on white people shit going on, you gotta suspect that it's got something to do with some behind the scenes that's just making it look like they're at war with each other. Because in our book, ain't it? I mean, in my book, they all the same. They all the same person. So Putin coming out talking about Ukraine, Zelensky, a Jew, don't really make sense to me because what the fuck is Russia? To me, they all the same thing because the Aryans and the Nazis was the same. So what the fuck was the blonde-haired and blue-eyed person? Because they phenotypes definitely was different. Making a white person to blend in and make these aboriginals. You know what I mean? To blend in with Africans. To make a brown copper type, mixing with the Asians. Like, yo, that's genetic manipulation, man. That's genetic manipulation, man. And I'm saying the insectoids was the first people to do it. The insectoids was the first people to do. Maybe, I don't know, but plants is first, but insectoids definitely. Because insectoids had the mind power to put people in the control, hypnosis, and mind control, to put things, other creatures, other entities, other beings was manipulated by the mantis's mind power, his telepathy. And so from there you get it to where you have you know, telepathy, right? Telepathy being the first language. And that's something that I understand as you know, like language. There's no language before language, but the word was with God and was in the beginning. So the concepts is silence and darkness at first, but we got light now, so we got something to give thanks for. You know, we got something to give thanks for. God make things good and pure. I pray, you know what I mean? I repented. I repent. I repented. You know, I want to do right. I ain't trying to get away with crime. I'm not trying to be getting away with nothing, running from anything. Like real shit, there's nothing to you know, when you crime free, yo, it's just a great feeling. And for those that ain't like us, so this Christ is the only way for them, man. Don't nobody want to hear nothing else. Right? It's like you gotta bring your photo ID. If you don't bring it, you ain't getting it. Like it's that clear cut, simple, no if and buts about it. Because people try to argue some shit. I'm not gonna argue nothing. I'm gonna just say, look, this is a statue, right? That when I seen it, I was disturbed. I was disturbed, and I can't really remember. I'm gonna guess, but I can't really remember where I first seen these people at. So, I saw it on a video, right? I saw it on a video. And when I was making my way toward the Pacific back in a couple of years ago, as a channel, we was moving in a wave, and it got to the point where I was like, yo, where do we go from here? Because we had just did the LiDAR in Central South America and seen all the pyramids out there. We saw the mountain-sized pyramids that was constructed. You know what I mean? And there's no explanation for it. So I was thinking, how is this happening? How is this happening? And so I was looking up, somebody in the chat had told me about Hawaii, a queen in Hawaii, and then somebody in the chat, it might have been the same person. I don't know, but somebody said that about the Southeast Asian islands of the Pacific, the Melanesian place, like I forgot the name of it, but it's where they say that the oldest pyramid is at 50,000-year-old pyramid over there in Southeast Asia, discovered by Graham Hancock. That shit is not accepted by mainstream media, but he went out there with his own money. So, but yeah, so Yo had told me about it, but I seen it through this channel Wise Up, when he was talking about how things out there was petrified wood instead of being like stone, right? And so he was talking about, Wise Up was talking about the petrified wood that, it looked like it was stone now, but it used to be something else. And so, like, that's how I was seeing the island and shit, right? And I'm not going to say that I didn't see it from years of looking up pictures and shit. But I didn't know anything about it. Like, it wasn't on my mind or nothing like that. I just recognized it when he brought it up. So the same thing with whoever it was, I forgot who it was in the chat, had dropped that gem. It was like I was verbally looking over the mountains toward the Pacific from Peru or somewhere. Like, I know this shit go out here. Where do we go from here? How these giant major bricks was made, right? And that's how we went into Pacific. Like, we jumped in the water, right? Then we went into the Pacific, and we went to Hawaii, where they got a reptilian queen that and so I went over there, right? And I found out that they had magicians, or they had stories of people that had ability to do technological feats that look magical. And they said that they knew how to move stones with a mind. You know what I'm saying? And so that kicked it off, But this right here is a mud fossil, man. That's a real mud fossil. It's a real mud fossil. That's why this shit was disturbing, because it's looking at, you know what I'm saying, something that was alive. But that shit was like, something went on, right? And so that whole area of them islands is filled with like statuettes like this. That's probably real statues and shit. But this is Pacific Islands. The Pacific Islands got the oldest shit. I'm sorry. I gotta stop how I talk. The Pacific Islands got the oldest things. The oldest things in the Pacific Island. They got concepts that don't exist nowhere else, anywhere outside those islands. Wait, what? They got concepts that don't exist anywhere outside them islands. Not really. That's the thing. They got concepts that exist throughout the world that is related to these islands. But these islands technically was the last that the European colonists got to. You know what I mean? They had everywhere else mapped out and colonies there. So when they came across these melanated peoples here, shit was kind of different. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a lot of it was the same. That's how you got Samoans and shit. You got these light skinned motherfuckers. Because they had sex with them heavy. They basically made it with them, killed all the warrior men, made it with them, and then installed their babies to be the leaders. And that's how you got light skinned populations in these countries. You know what I mean? Because they came from one of those type of efforts. Now they're just, you know what I mean? They don't even see it. They don't even see it, and they trying to make it where they don't even see black when they think back, which is don't make no sense. So let's go ahead with this. Look at that. Oh man, that's wild. I ain't even. Let's go. That's exactly. That's what we talking about. You see how he balding and shit. That's bad genes, dog. I mean, look, I'm not gonna say it's bad. A lot of people listening might be light skinned. Who knows? But I'm just saying, you can see that how these people exist, right? Through a mixing of traits between others. So they got African, what do they call it? Oriental, European in there. I guess you could say American. That's another continent. All that mixed in. That's a lot. How many is that? So we could put what I should put is Venezuela and Saddam Hussein next to each other. That's a good put that shit right there, bro. Yeah. Venezuela. Let's see how fast we can bring that up. What's his name? Maduro and Saddam. That was the one I got already. What the hell? What the hell did I say? I don't care about Richard Cheney, but they saying Richard Cheney implicated this man as being the same. Yo, wow, that shit crazy, dude. I don't care about Richard Cheney. Like, they burn in hell. I rebuke the devil. But yo, why did it say that though? I mean, it said the final words of I don't know, he ain't got no fucking power around here. I rebuke the meatball, dumbass, weak line, enemy up, down. Look at this shit. That's crazy. Come on, man. Hey, yo. Double joint salutes, bro. What's up with you? No, look. Hey, look, you can mix them up. Like, you can find a Hindu man look just like this. If we could find a Hindustanian that look like this, that'd be crazy. Because then we'll just need Southeast Asian man to look like this, Pacific Islander look like this. And we'll go around the world and we'll connect all the mestizo, hybrid generations of overlap of similar but different non-melanated features and shit. You'll get you a nice little Aboriginal American type glow to you. That's crazy. Look, fallen angel, man. I just say that's mixed people. That's mixed people. That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been saying. If you leave them alone, for too long, they gonna act like they their own people and shit. Then the next thing you know, the motherfuckers want separate rights and shit because they light skinned and they just forgot who they was and shit. The motherfuckers think they Iraqis or Venezuelans and shit. Like they playing the game, son. So they must be lost in the sauce. They watered down. They're a feature of the world. This is what happens when it don't matter if you black or white. In their world, it's like, I don't know, maybe they think Jesus brown. Huh? Maybe they think Jesus is a brown man or something. Like, yo, they tripping. Right? They don't know. They might be clowns for real. Look, they do the same. They is worth the same to original man, woman, and child. They worth the same to God. Like they be on their bullshit. Like this. Like, oh, here we go. We got here these goddamn Cubans. Oh, now you got the Puerto Ricans. Oh, here come the Guatemalans. Let them get their piece. Let them up. No, San Salvador. You're gonna have to wait. Colombia was here first, right? All right, Colombians, go ahead. Give them the mic. It's like the showtime at the Zeus. Anyways, patterns can get us somewhere. Patterns definitely can get us somewhere. I don't know where that is from on the left. I wish I knew. I would guess to say it's Egyptian, but it's like I know the one on the right is. See, I don't even know on the one on the right where that's from either. You know, I don't know where the one in the middle from. I know it's American, but all I know is that they from 3 different styles of saying the same thing. Believe it or not. It's we're gonna prove it with this freestyle. I mean with this slideshow. 3 different versions of saying the same thing. This could be the same thing. This could be the same thing. That's an ancient Chinese, what you call it, statuette on the left. And that's a chimpanzee. I think that's a chimp. I don't know what that is. It's a gorilla or a chimp. It's some type of humanoid. You see how they made the brain all small and shit? That's like hell. Like you're in hell for real. Something. I don't know. I don't know what it is. And he got no thoughts like that. But they be thinking and looking and shit, doing shit. It's crazy. It's like they under an experiment. I don't know what it is, but it's like they was made like that. Because nature wouldn't make no shit like that for no reason. Right? Like that's some dumbass shit. Like nature wouldn't make a brain so small that the person is a retarded person compared to the surroundings. Nature wouldn't make nothing like that. It's obvious that the gods made all these versions. And when I say gods, I mean these lowercase g gods. Right? They had made these other versions of these many type of versions. And so I don't know how far back we should go with it. It could be a marmoset. You know what a marmoset is? How far back should it go? Because a marmoset, I don't know how to spell it. What do they call a marmoset? How you say it? Chat. Dojo. You know how to say that? A marmoset. I think that's it. A Marmo set. A Marmo set. Look at this shit. Look at that. What is the hell is that? Huh? What the heck is that? That's an ancient. Like, that's smart. You see how small it is? And you see how it got the brain is proportionate. A marmor set look like a smart monkey, but it's like small. So that's literally like a small humanoid. And so that means that it's possible that it was larger versions of this, but there's no evidence. I don't know. I don't know. It's possible that there was other types of things. Who knows what? They like little monkeys, but they not monkeys, which is crazy. Man, let's go to YouTube and let's find one. Marmoset monkey. Oh, it is a monkey? Get out of here. The smallest monkey. It is a monkey. Oh, shit. That's Nat Geo. We're going to chill on Nat Geo. Let's look at this. Nat Geo snatched right out the computer. Like, what? You pulled up on Nat Geo. Give us your blood identification, iris scan, and photo ID. Like, them motherfuckers like, oh, this motherfucker is copying Nat Geographic. You see him? You looking at that shit? Look at that shit. Oh, so it is a monkey. You goddamn right, it's a monkey. I didn't think they classified them as monkeys, but they do. The fuck is that? So it is a monkey. Hell no. Man, show the fucking monkey. Oh, look at the monkey. Oh, it's a little monkey. It's a little goddamn monkey. That's crazy, yo. Look how I'm looking around. Look how you looking all fast and shit. Look. Beep, 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 beep. Look. You're like a little robot. Like he automatically knows some shit or don't know some shit automatically. It's a little monkey, man. That's crazy. That's wild, man. So shit. I'm joints said somebody else said, look, man, I like these little monkeys, man. We're gonna make a whole shitload of them. Make a whole shitload of them. And so they can't be trusted though, this concept. Later on down the line, these monkeys done turned out. Look at this later on on the timeline of the universe. Now we got the monkeys looking like this. Like, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute, monkeys. Y'all, what y'all got clothes on? That look like a woman with a fake beard. And they look like two midgets. They're like two midgets. If they stood up, they would be like to this man's sternum. Probably to his rib cage if they stood up. See, he bending his knee to look shorter and shit. He got his pants all the way up. He got his pants all the way up over his hips to look shorter. Look at him. He bending both knees, pants all the way up. He want to look shorter. So they up here playing mind tricks, right? They got the bricks. They got the boards up with the shoes on it. Make it look like that's where his feet at whole time. His feet probably down there. They trying to make him look like he's shorter than he is in real life compared to these people. You know why? Because these people got something wrong with them in the form of can't trust shit that you see from out of these people at this time in the timeline. This is the World's Fair. These are supposed to be Ainu people, Japanese. They're not even from the mainland Japan, like how we think of it. It's from a small island. Well, it's not really small, it's an island. You know what I mean? Called Hokkaido. That's north of the most of Japan. And so it's like an indigenous place where these people still resume their little sovereignty and shit. And so the way history tell them is that these people was in all of Japan and that they got beat back to Hokkaido uh, by invading forces. And so the Hokkaido concept is where the Ainu people is claiming their sovereignty and they're native. It's like Native American black, you know what I mean? Like Native American uh Super Saiyan and shit with the whole this our history and our land, this what happened. And so the Ainu people is considered or is a hairy people, right? They document it as being originally hairier than the average man. You know what I mean? With a fine layer of hair, a whole bunch of hair all over their body. Now look at the nose on this meatball. First of all, the picture looked fake. Second of all, who got a nose like that? That's a huge nose. That's a huge nose, man. And that could be that's dragon related. So is they related to the Bigfoot? One might ask, because the Bigfoot, you know what I'm saying? The Bigfoot is a legend that Oriental people be kicking and talking about it around campfires when they're in their comfort zone and shit. The motherfuckers break out a story talking about one of the monsters that's they're known to ravage their villages and shit like that. Bing, 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 bing. Look at how all them damn toes go up like there's some steps. Who got a foot made like that where you'll step on a second toe? That shit almost scared the shit out of me. You could step on their second toe before their pinky toe ever come in the picture. And that thumb toe, that big toe, look like a whole thumb. It's a female. And then look at the heel. That don't look right. Look like somebody put a bullet in that heel. Is that a callus? That's a wound. That's a wound. That's disgusting. That look like an open wound, don't it? At the heel. There's like a hole in it. And it's eating that part of the foot away. That's what it looked like. I don't know. That's what it looked like. Because I wouldn't understand how you can even have a foot that small. Right? Like, how would you even have a foot that small and have a ankle like that? Like, there ain't really no ankle. You ain't got no ball of the foot or bottom of the foot like that. Like, it's not even a complete foot. It look like a hand. Right? And so I don't know, maybe this is AI. This is an old version of AI. It's an old version of AI, man. I don't know. But it's something fishy about it. It's something fishy about it. That shit. There was a better picture that showed about these feet. And so what I don't got included here is how these toes at the bottom here is similar to another depiction of these people's toes. It's possible that that shit real. I don't know. He got a part in his hair. Like they combed his hair and shit, made him look decent. And, you know what I mean? Like they picked this shit up. Look. That look real, don't it? Don't that look real? It looked like a real fire right there. That's what got me. The fire looked real. And I ain't never see a picture where it was a real fire. Right? I ain't never see a picture of people standing in front of a real fire like that. So it'd be an old black and white photo. So that's interesting because now when I look at the background, this shit don't look like one of those fake backgrounds where they got the carpet in the back hanging, the fake picture, the fake background hanging in the back. And you can see the separation of the floor and the little curtain that they had dropped for the backdrop. Yeah, I don't see that in this. And so that's telling me what pictures would look like back in the days if they was real. And so I don't know, the lighting looked kind of fake to me a little bit though, but in the face, like I don't know, man. It looked realish. You know, it looked realish. There's something wrong with his hands right here. So this might be AI. And that's crazy because why would AI show a fire flame? Like to get AI to show a fire flame will be existing somewhere. I'm just saying. So let's go back to the ancient shit. The ancient things, my bad. The ancient things, the whole concept of the symbol of the sun and moon, or the sun, moon, star, the crescent and the star is a hollow earthian tag for these beastmen. You know what I mean? That's why the Mongolians do it, all the way down to the dang Arabs. They all use the crescent star, the Tibetans. That's their symbol. And so when you got things like the Nation of Islam using that same symbol, saying that that's what Americans, especially Black Americans, should be doing, that shit is the devil. That's complete deception. That's opposite of the truth. And that's the evil Aboriginal black man. You know what I mean? That's what Farrakhan represents. Farrakhan is directly in cahootage with the devil. You know what I mean? They say he has something to do with Brother Malcolm being assassinated. And then after, years later, he go on to you know what I'm saying? Say, so what if we kill Brother Malcolm? He said that. He said that. So he going to hell. You know what I mean? He going to hell. All them Nation of Islam ain't never did a damn thing worthwhile for like almost 100 years now. And you know what I mean? That's what happens when you're a grifter. When you're a grifter, they are all for being the inside man. Like when you see these Muslims, they just concerned about being in the company. They don't be trying to get people to become what they've become. They is have that false sense of confidence for being isolationists because they can't bring nobody to their bullshit. That ain't no church, right? So it's a cult. And it's probably one of the most successful cults that we've seen next to Christianity. Islam is whack. Like, you can't come up with no religion after the law was brought down, you stupid. So, you know what I mean? To try to be their own version of an occultic twist to an ancient Israelite concept, there's nothing. Like, it's never going to conquer the true word. And so here it is. That's the Peru in the middle. And that's a Venka on the left. I think that's from Ukraine or Russia or some shit. It's from some East European country on the left. That's Peru in the middle. That's Siberia on the right. Now, when you look at the Siberian, they're showing you they're showing you these half circles. There's 7 of them. Right? And so that's the hollow world with the 7 hells. And so, well, that's what they call it when it's underneath, right? So the movie King Kong, it showed that there was a hollow world. And so that's the monkey right there. That's a monkey face. Let's go bring up the monkey face real quick. See that? That's a monkey face. What was we looking up? The monkey face. The monkey face. Damn, I don't have hairy people. I have nothing labeled monkey. But here it is. Got it. Duplicate. So I guess what they're showing is that they got a circle around their face. They got a face with. This is what they said. They had a face of a man. like a man face, like there's no hair on the face. So it's probably a hell of them. So they say in the hollow world that if y'all don't see it, it's right here and right here. That is monkeys and Native Americans down there. Here go artwork from the United States. Looking at it's a hairy person right there. Because you could see that there's less in the face on purpose. Yeah. And so this is the moon goddess mixing with the beast. This is like one of the earliest versions of that. Oh shit, son. Hold on. And so let's bring that back up. That's the case. That's what that is. So it's not a sidebar because we're staying on topic. So they go to the crescent and the moon and shit or whatever that is. It's them. Damn, that's them. And so those are like blimmies. You know what I'm saying? All right. Damn, was I muted the whole damn time? Shit. So that's the case. That's what that is. So I've been muted for a minute. And then the moon and shit or whatever that. All right, that's good. So y'all didn't hear me talk about Farrakhan. My bad. My bad. My bad. All right. All right. So appreciate double joint. All right. So here it is. The Chinese blending. See, the Chinese, they claim, first of all, this is the oldest blending depiction, and this is connected to what we're gonna put. What after that? There it is. Hold up. So that's a blemmy. So the Chinese believe that they blemmies, their ancestors was blemmies. So yeah, that looked right. Hold on. Right. So so blemmies is in Chinese history. Like blemmies is literally in Chinese history and shit. That shit looks stupid. Why is it moving like that? Hold on. Man. So you see how it's the same. So the Oriental, it does its origin with the blemmies is by their own account, and so then that would mean that this would be a beautification of what you see on this cave wall, and that means that these people came from maybe an artificial medium or technological medium to mix in with these beast men. And so that's why you see them always together, because the beast man was made, but then God said, it's not good that he be alone. Let me make him something, you know what I mean, that he can call his own, right? And so I think that's where this connection come in at. Because if you notice, Oriental people aren't the hairiest people outside of the Anu people, right? Koreans, for example, like they have this really pale skin. You know what I mean? So out of all the Orientals, the Korean is the palest, or they, you know what I mean? Like basically, technically. And so that's why Korea is the leader of white supremacy in the world, because it go back to when they was introduced for breeding purposes, essentially. And so we got evidence of these monkey people, but they also represent what we've seen in these movies, man. They is from the hollow world. They was on the ice tundras and shit. They came through caves and tunnels. Like, it was technology back then. And so look, they got the sun, moon, and stars. And that's what the Nation of Islam pushed, and the Nation of Islam don't do nothing but be of the devil, right? So here's depictions of these monkey people, y'all. Big nose, big ears, bald face. And so this is the same thing we've seen in this ancient Siberian situation, where you see the bald face is essentially the same. See that? It's essentially the same. And so what I got to do with Bigfoot, right? Because I said that Bigfoot got the bald face. And when you hear stories of him, they say he got the face like a man. Like he looked like a man in the face. Anybody that privy to those type of accounts. Let's get a better look. Yeah, that nose look fake. That's probably AI. His lip hella monkeyish. That big lip, that big top lip, that shit don't look real. That nose, that shit don't look right. Got hella nostrils, that shit fake. Why he got a part in his head and shit, like he taking a high school photo, like a prom picture. Anyways. There's incidences where they said they saw a Bigfoot get dropped off by a UFO or get zapped up by a UFO or something like that. And so when you put them together, you get this. And don't they got hairy blimmies? Hold on, let's go see again. Matter of fact, do I got a blimmy folder? Let's just go look. Here they are, blimmies. And so I had seen a picture, this picture, right? But I debunked it with a picture, like a real human picture. So sometimes I think whether or not that human picture was the fake or not. Let's go look for hairy blimmies. Nah. Like they used pictures, they was faking pictures. Like if y'all seen this shit got debunked because it's a some type of Melanesian man standing there with his wife, and they just photocopied this shit and made him look like he ain't had no head to him. But there's a version, yeah, look at these. Look at these. These are hairy versions. Check that out. They got hair all over their body. Who the fuck will make some shit up like that? It's crazy. So that would make sense if this is the beginning, because these are like pre-blimmy. gelatin body situations. And so when they mix in with this hairy man, then you get you a hairy blenny, perhaps, maybe even some with a neck. Either way, it's redhead people, man. Red, brown body hair on the paint tip all the time. Look, that's from Africa. The only monkey humans you see in Africa is literally white men based on their cave paints. But they show Africans with the same body type, though, sometimes. So this is a crossover to Siberia. Shit, the one in the middle might be from Siberia too, Russia, Ukraine, somewhere out there. And then you got the Peruvian, that's a giant etch and sketch in the earth you can only see from the sky on the right. And so there you have a UFO relationship to the concept of these hairy people, whether they Bigfoot or not. You have this connection where you have to have a flying vehicle to even see the image on the right, and it's depicting the image we see on the left, right? Which I'm saying is Hollow Earth, Monkey Man, just like King Kong movies say. And the Peruvians is saying that the sky gods can read that. Double Joint say a counterfeit creation like evolution is evil, reverse engineering God is love, live. It's interesting how the English word, right, is a word, like how that functions, man. Evil, evolution. I see that. Lucian, what's Lucian? Yeah, I get it. Evolu, evil. Yeah. Interesting. The dog star, God star. You know what I mean? English is probably the best. Troglodyte. A troglodyte is a person who is regarded as being deliberately ignorant or old fashioned. A person who is regarded as being deliberately ignorant or old fashioned. So when you see concepts where a troglodyte in Africa shows a blenny, troglodyte on African map. You know, Africa ain't had no maps. They burnt all them joints. You know, Africa had maps. Like, why wouldn't Africa have no maps? Like, they went on the ocean. Oh yeah, they went on the ocean. Right, Africa went on the ocean. Right. So at troglodyte on map. Am I spelling the shit correctly? Troglodyte. Yeah. Troglodyte. Hell, that's what they said. I remember that shit from a movie. That's crazy. That's from Sinbad. Oh man, I remember that shit. The fuck? He was like a monkey. He was hella dangerous though. He was a giant too, yo. Let's see if they got any to scale. I didn't find his stupid ass. That shit was crazy. Anyways, though, damn, that might have been that's not a sidebar. It do say troglodyte on the picture. And so there's a map where they show a troglodyte in Africa, but it's a blemmy. I just thought it was relative to the conversation. So here you have good Christian, God-fearing white people on the left beating the shit out of the satanic, pedophilic, murderous, uneducated, ignorant pieces of white trash. All right. Right. Sending them back to the cave once they came. Butt ass naked. They don't own shit. They ain't got no possessions. No possessions. So there they go. In the hollow earth, plotting to come up and fuck with us and take our place, just like the movie Us talk about. They was down there doing everything we was doing, learning, now they're doing or whatever to come up and take the spot. And so they getting prepared. They from every seven, what they call it, all the seven reaches of hell, all the seven hells. You know what I'm saying? All types of white people, man. Different versions, different fashions for different things to do different things. And they just came up here organized. Like, what the fuck? Got dropped off. They had a mission. So it's not so much of, oh, these two peoples just came in contact with one another and just didn't like each other. It's not that at all. It's the surface versus the subterranean. And the subterranean is all these serpent heads and demon heads that's coming up out the ground. They're saying they came up out the ground like caves, like worms come up out of carcass. You know what I'm saying? So, there's 7 spots here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's, I don't put them two together? Hold on now. So people know. I think I intended to do that. Okay. Sent to the back. All right. So to show that I'm not just making it up, even to the little exit at the bottom. Right. And so you got 7 features on each. On the inside with these, you see these mounds or these places, 7 of them, just like this. So that's Siberia, and that's the Americas with this. And so look how the Americas is detailed, and Siberia also is showing us something that's valuable. In that he has like hair all over his body. So let's wait. Let's get this right here real quick. And put that together. Well, actually, let's make a new one. All right, so we want to take that, copy that. All right. So what that is the same. It's just that the bottle is not going to be upside down. The bottle is not upside down. So it's proof that the earth was seen as a homunculus jar. It being in the fact that in the inside, in the interior, there was all this genetic scientific manipulation going on by the blackbirds, who are the melanated people who had the ability to fly, aka the Chitauri. And so there you have it, where the redhead, the pale skinned redhead, and the hairy faced monkey man is connected, along with subterranean armies that came to the surface with war in mind, with war plans. And so this is saying that white surface people were subject to the subterranean mafia. And this is probably one of the reasons why, or proof seeing that the mob run the world today, taking the fact we got presidential mob ties, the mob ties, like, to get to do the things that they were doing in the face of the law is like some criminal enterprise type situation. And so the the fanfare for surface and subterranean interaction was on the surface people level, they're occultic fans. Right? They worshiping the devil, they worshiping dark spirits, they summoning things up out of the ground. So the surface dwellers fanfare for what is subterranean is like high, because we got, people believe in hell and say they're down below, and it's a great enigmatic concept, right? Where people is trying to wonder. I don't know what they're doing in subterranean, if they're wondering if there's people above them or anything like that. But we always knew about the underworld. Like every culture has something dealing with the underworld. And so the realm of the dead was central to a lot of the things that ancient Americans and other people was doing, because they was into the craft more openly than today. It seemed like they're trying to get like that, using media and stuff, and they're trying to get people to be all Lil Nas X like and all this other shit and low vibration. They just, they still focus on that death cult shit. And so they was getting away with the pedophilia and the murder back then. And so, it was nothing really honorable about the shit, for real. Like, it's not like we're going to keep on having these dumbass statues up after judgment. This is just saying that this is what they was into. And that's why they ain't shit today. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody don't put their ass on that statue. Right? Somebody done came up and skeeted on that statue, for real. And don't nobody got time for that. You know what I'm saying? And so Pacific Islanders crazy as fuck. They act like they going to war with somebody. You know what they call the wars to kill all the Pacific Islander people? The Masonic Wars, the Freemasonic Wars is what they call the clashes between colonists and the indigenous Samoans, etc. The Masonic Wars. Because whenever the colony would be set up, all the men that's willing to fight against the colonists would be murdered. All the women would be set up, and the weak men and the gay men would be set up to be the government. And so they will leave a militia, or they will create a militia, and they will like give them weapons, and then they would leave and they'll set up like a military post, so that whenever they come through, or white people come through, they do what they're supposed to for the white man, and then they will be promoted above all the other people of their village. And that's the machine-like method that they had done to contract colonies from people, by destroying the strong and enabling the weak to be the new replacement for the strong, as long as they're not stronger than the colonists. And so, man, it's crazy genetic warfare. In the form of like human bodies is like race wars, like little war race wars and shit. They go on. And so we don't see this anymore, but we do see evidence that it was prominent. So what that tell us? That tell us that there's some type of race war conflict already happened to deplete the population to where now these things are rare, right? You'll see redhead people all throughout ancient world as mummies. And pretty much almost every continent, there's a red-headed mummy that you can find, and red-headed people depicted, from cave walls to artwork. But when you look around today, the only groups of red-headed people, or pockets of red-headed people, you find are in Ireland, which is a relatively small island, and Ukraine, which has the most redheads in the world. But you don't see their population like in China or Peru like you would. And as far as the evidence shows. So that means that they too had suffered some type of genocide or some type of depletion in their population. And so yesterday I spoke on this already. Yesterday I spoke on Hawaii already. All right, so I guess I'm talking about, so that's the Japanese, they wearing the diapers, but India wearing their diapers too. That's Hawaii in the middle. And I think I'm gonna delete that. Because even if it was a symbolic code, this shit ain't worth watching or showing. Let's see if we could delete that now. So this is more important. Because it deal with underworld. And if the Yakuza is still running shit, then I don't know what the baby is up to and who he connected in and tied in with. Because if y'all ever watch those videos where people be saying the Illuminati tried to get them, they'll tell you that some Asians, some Chinese Illuminati or somebody was at them. I saw this one when this guy was like, it was some type of Illuminati. But the Yakuza and what's going on with people of color in America is more of an issue than making that connection, right? Because the people on their own, without even being called Yakuza, is known for being upstarts and disruptive. You know what I'm saying? And so this man recently, even though I've had this lineup for a couple of years, or this picture or whatever, or I made this lineup a couple of years ago, or a year or so ago, whatever. I say a couple. Either way, he been incarcerated recently for trying to help Iran with terroristic weapons or some shit. Yeah, and that's so this right here, when somebody look at this, what you think that is? You think that's in like somewhere in North Canada, Alaska, something to do with First Nations people, something to do with some Native Americans in the United States or something, right? Yo, that shit is from goddamn Taiwan, man. That shit is from Taiwan, the Hokkaido Japanese, which we already looked at. But this is Taiwan. They ain't even close to each other. But I'm starting to see clearer that these so-called native relationships. When you go over there in Taiwan, Taiwan got that's where the Freemasonic Lodge of China exists at. It's in Taiwan. The Grand Lodge of China is in Taiwan. And they got the best computer chip materials, so to speak. And they got an indigenous population that claim to have been there since whatever. And they on some Native American type bullshit for real. Like same thing. They got totem poles. And so they basically came from somewhere with that same swag. And so here go that's India on the left, and that's Tibet on the right. And so I like it because it shows the connection between Buddhism and Hinduism, right? Because the first Buddhist was a Hindu. I mean, Buddha was a Hindu. And so they're saying Chinese ain't got nothing on their own. The Asians ain't come across shit on their own. But that's a goddamn lie. Look at them little skulls. You see them little skulls? That's from America, man. That's from America. And so, listen, it's like they're saying the Chinese ain't got shit on their own. Like they ain't got nothing original. By the time they got somebody, man, the shit was over with already. The race was done. Here they go. That's him in the middle. That's him in the goddamn middle. I wonder if do I got it where it showed the rainbow parts? No, I don't. I don't know why. Hold on. So y'all can see that that's Bills. Tibetan. Of course, ain't no damn Tibet. There it is. Damn. Why I didn't put that shit in there, man? Hold on, man. Why I didn't put that in there? I mean, I'm not asking you. I'm just the bishop said Morrigan. There he is. Look down here, you see he got the rainbow fringes. He got the rainbow fringes. He got an apron. He got an apron. He got a bunch of shit going on. He got a bunch of shit going on. He got a elaborate headdress. You know what I'm saying? Look. Look at all these dumbass colors he got on there. And so look, when you look at a Peruvian, you know what a Peruvian flag looks like? There it is. You see that? That's their flag. Look, that's their colors that they rapping. That's not an LGBTQ flag. But those are the same colors LGBTQ use, probably. So let's go see if I got a rainbow folder. That would it's probably under something like static. So here it is. This is Celtic. Right. This is Korean. This is American. This is Mexican. I don't know. Maybe those ain't the Mexicans. This is Japanese. That's pretty cool. I like how they masks got different little shapes in their visor, man. That's dope. I like that. That's really cool. Yeah. Look what they got the little Peruvian boy doing. That's crazy. That's their colors. They ain't even, you know what I mean? He don't know that shit means super zesty and everywhere else in the world. That's crazy. Look, they making shit up like they little elves and shit. But they old people, man. Where they came from though, the caves. They repping these outfits, these little gnomish outfits, like they repping those clothes, like that's they shit. They got their own clothes. Native Americans don't even got their own clothes. Native Americans, so-called Native American Indians, be having the button up with the blue jeans and the moccasins and a headdress and shit. These meatballs have made their own shit. Look, with the little cheap ass material. Here go Japan. Shorty got all them colors on. Yeah, that's their version of Kalima. Look, check this out. This is Mongolia. You see that? This is so-called Native American. Come on, man. So we should put this right where they getting getting attacked for that bullshit. I don't know how that shit go. Put them right there, bomb. Right? That makes sense. And then we should show them how they was getting treated.
Get a song from Spirit. Get a piece of wall art that looks so good on the wall. People that see can also hear it, hear it, hear it. Only at Spirit. Hey there! Hey there! Hey there! Are you tired of looking at that blank space on the wall? If so, go to Spirit and get you some nice pictures to H. You can get them for yourself or the office. Spirit. If you have a family member, a bride, a great gift that'll last years and years. Spirit. Home decorations that makes you like one. And having class is your sport. You'll have a classy side. Spirit. Choose from our select to get the most uncool wallet for an opening season discount now. So you have that classy style. Choose from our select to get the most uncool wallet for an opening season discount now. Oh yeah, get them new music. That's the word you like. Hey there. Are you tired of looking at that blank space on the wall?